Namaste, everyone. I'm Nathan William. I'm the CEO of a SaaS venture named ShowPlatform, and we are broadcasting from Rajkot, India, where we're doing our war room. Our team is gathered together, our development team with designers and developers and DevOps engineers. We're all here together, and we are working to get our software launched for 1.0 next week. We've been working on this for more than 2 years
More than
now.
2 years, yeah.
And we're this close. So I have with me KK Patel. K is the artist behind the software. In fact, K is the reason that we're in Rajkot. When I was doing my consulting practice, before we started working on the software, we worked with a variety of different developers. And usually when I worked with a developer, I would have to spec a project in intense detail. And then the project that was given back to me was a lot worse than what I spec'd. And I noticed with Kay, as I gave him different client projects to do, every single client that he did something for loved what he did. And he researched the work to death and came up with ideas that I hadn't considered and things that competitors were doing that we hadn't even thought of. And he created something better than what I asked him to do. It's kind of like, imagine an artist, imagine Picasso, right? It's a painter who's creating his masterpiece. I see Kay as a software artist, and the software is his masterpiece that he creates. And so I knew when we decided to build a ShowPlatform software that I wanted Kay behind the scenes leading that effort. So Kay is actually our VP of development. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know you've traveled a whole bunch. Tell us some of the different places you've traveled to.
So yeah, like I have been traveling a lot since the childhood. Like I have traveled to 9 states in India, 2 countries, and finally I settled down in Rajkot.
Rajkot. Yeah. So of all the different places you've traveled in India, what's your favorite place?
It's like 10 years back I traveled to Leh Ladakh.
Leh Ladakh, okay.
I guess like 15 days we stayed there, and
okay.
That
so,
was...
So for the audience that may not know what Leh Ladakh is, can you describe it to them?
Yeah, so Leh Ladakh, like that's in the top of north of India, and it's the mountains. We have the desert also over there, and it is like highest motorable road, and it's fun over there.
So lakes and mountains and trees, and it's a beautiful getaway place without a million people.
Yep, that's true.
Okay. So you've been working with me for a couple of years now to build the software. What's one of the most difficult things that you've had to do so far in this process?
So developing a software is itself a challenge. So while this project we had like 38 modules.
Yeah. And so just the scope of it, how big it is?
Too big. Like it's almost 38 SaaS softwares combined in a one SaaS software.
It's like juggling 38 balls at the same time.
Yeah.
So many moving parts.
Yeah. And all the 38 modules are integrated with each other, deeply integrated. And the biggest challenge with this was like every time we developed something, the scope changes based on what the next is coming up. So, and that's why like the challenge was like the time was the biggest challenge. We didn't have that much of time, but we somehow managed to do that.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job. I'm very pleased with what you've done. What are some of your favorite modules for ShowPlatform?
It's difficult, but couple of them, like I can start. One is Show Launcher. So Show Launcher is like a module, a WYSIWYG editor type of thing, where we ask a couple of questions to the users. They start filling up their informations, then from one step to another step they go, and by end of the last step, the show site is ready with the first content published on many platforms. So recording is done, the transcribe is ready, the editing is done, it's published on the website, it's published on the social media platform. Like once it takes like 4 to 5 hours to complete that. So that's one of the modules.
So that's so important because we wanted to reduce friction.
Friction, yes.
Think of like a car, and when you put your foot on the brakes, it actually slows down the car because it's creating friction with that wheel. In the software world, you don't want friction. When you have friction in your software, that means it's hard for people to use your software. And the harder it is, or the more friction you have, the more people bounce or leave, the more churn you have, people that stop using it. Yeah. And so we built Show Launcher to reduce the friction.
Especially like there are this many modules, they have to learn each module. So this is like giving an introduction to module as easy as possible. So next time they come to the dashboard, they know what exactly this module does and what I have to do with that.
So they learn what it is, and then they do the basic functionality, whatever they need to do to get that initial show site launched.
Instead of reading or watching videos, they do it and they learn how to do it while going through that step by step. So it's like holding their hands and creating the episodes and launching the site.
That's a great analogy. And our goal with Show Launcher is that people can create their show site, record their first episode, edit it, publish it, and syndicate it all in one day.
Yep.
And I think you've achieved it. I think it's pretty cool how it works. Okay, tell me another module that you love.
Second one, I guess, is, so this is show site, right? So we need guests to interview.
Yeah.
And we have a trio of modules: show inviter, show guest, and show onboarder.
Okay.
What it does, it like you can add the guest, then you can invite the guest, they can choose the date when they want to get interviewed, and then there is a onboarder for the guest where they can answer all the questions or give their whatever the information they want to give at one place, so that we don't have to send them so many emails and we don't have to ask them all the questions. They know what need to be replied on the show onboarder. All that information is stored at one place in our show guest module, and you can use that information while recording in the show recorder. So you have all the notes over there, so you don't have to take out the book and read the notes from there. So you have all the questions you want to ask them at one place in the show recorder. So it's like totally deeply integrated.
Yeah. And then Show Inviter allows you to actually send the invites and schedule and sync with your calendars. And
it's like Calendly.
Yeah.
But the better version of it integrated with the software.
And I'm not aware of a competitor that has the show guests and the show onboarder modules. Are you?
No, this one is totally
unique to us.
Yes.
Yeah. Just our goal is to be able to streamline this process again, and remove friction and make it as easy as possible. Take as little effort as possible for a host to run a show.
And we have like more than 40 integrations.
Yeah.
To syndicate the show, to get published everywhere.
And there's a lot more coming. Like
Absolutely.
TikTok is one we don't have yet, but it's coming here soon.
So like more than 18 for the podcast syndication, 2 for the blogs, 3 for the video, and much more.
So these syndications that he's talking about, they're integrations with other platforms that make it easier for you to create content in one place and then publish to all the other platforms.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, maybe tell us one more module. What's something else that you love?
Then the show recorder. So again, there is a one trio: show recorder, show editor, and show transcriber. So you record at one place, that files goes to the editor, and in editor you can create the transcript of the show, of the recording, and using that transcript you can edit it. So if you want to delete a word, you don't have to edit in the video editor. You can just delete that word and it will be deleted from the video itself. So that's
pretty amazing. Think about what he just said. Because normally when you edit a video, it takes you maybe 3 or 4 times as long as that video is to do the editing. If you have an hour-long video, it might take you 3 hours to do that editing. But if you go into the show transcriber and you see a group of text that you don't want, you just delete it, and then it's automatically deleted from the audio or the video.
And video both.
Yeah. Or you could search for ums or stumble words, and you could automatically delete those. This makes it a lot easier to edit an episode with a lot less time. Can you share with me one last module that you love in what we've created at ShowPlatform?
Yeah. So we have a module called live streaming, and what makes it unique is like it has a dual streaming and a multi-streaming options in that. So let me explain. Dual streaming is like if I'm on your show and I want to live stream this on to my audience, and you want to do the same with your audience, you can put your RTMP URLs or the YouTube channel, integrate your YouTube channel, and I do mine. So the live streaming is done on both the YouTube channel at the same time. And same thing we can do with multi-streaming. So like it goes on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, 4 of mine and 4 of yours. And if you have multiple channels, you're welcome.
So just to summarize that, you create one live stream on ShowPlatform, and then you can push it live to all of your own channels, Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and such. And then you can invite your guest who's on your show. So let's say you invite a guest on the show and they have a bunch of reach and following, and they agree to allow you to live stream your show on their channels as well. Then not only will we syndicate your live stream out to your channels, but we can send it to your guest channels as well. So it's a great way to market and promote your show to a much larger audience of people. Thanks for all the great work. We definitely would not be where we are today with ShowPlatform.